Hello, and welcome back. We're just picking up where we left off. We're heading on to Act 2 of Backpack Hero. And let's head over to... I generally like to go to the Enchanted Swamp, because once again, it was a, a secret floor back in the day, so in my mind, it's still a bit of a secret floor, and there's some benefit to going towards there, even though there isn't technically. Oh, there's our guy that we gave the money to. We can go over there and get our reward, but before that... always hit up the shop because they might have something very good. Not this time, it appears, though. Not this time. Now these things here. Now remember we encountered the shrines before that would heal us for 5 and that would give us 5 gold. But these are on a timer, so if you don't get to them, every time you move they count down 1, and if you don't get to them in time, they will just vanish. It will simply vanish. Oh, a mimic. Just a hermit crab mimic. Just disguise itself as a reward, but turns out it was me, Dio. I guess we have to block twice in order to get our full block here. Okay. Now we can actually... We'll figure something out here to make it work with the Dark Whetstone, but for now it's not such a big deal. The Dark Whetstone's nice, but it's not integral to our game plan. Now applying 2 weak with every strike, incredibly good. In fact, by doing that... Oh, nope. I thought we'd get him down to less than our block, but that's fine. There we go, we're fine. Ooh, a dice. Now, a dice is a very good item. Its main use is to reroll combat rewards, but this can also reroll the relics you are offered at the end of a boss fight. Relics are generally very powerful. They're different from normal items. You will never find one of these in a combat reward. You only find them after boss fights. And rerolling them is pretty integral because sometimes your build requires a specific relic to work properly. But also, if you are offered, say you have 7 curses, and all your rewards are curses. If you re-roll the curses, they are gone forever, because a curse will only be added to the curse counter if you leave it behind when you move on to a different room. But if you re-roll them all, they're not there to be left behind. So dice is very powerful. As such, I want to take it. We probably get rid of the Spectral Orb. Spectral Orb, not super good. There are items that have good synergy with Ghostly, but not generally. And it is legendary, so it will sell for a lot. So actually, let's get rid of the machete. We don't really need the machete anymore. Let's double back to the shop. You see that hard spot disappeared from existence. Let's sell the Spectral Orb. I don't really care about the Spectral Orb. Get us some extra money. Now we're at 64, like my favorite Nintendo. Ooh, a lot of legendaries on offer here. Legendary, legendary, legendary. Now this is Plinko. What's it called? Plinko? I think I got Plinko in the prices, right? So you basically drop this shield, it'll bounce around on all these pegs and fall into a bucket, and whatever bucket you land in is the item you get. Now usually there's at least 1 curse and a legendary, but this time there's 3 legendaries. I actually don't know which one to go for. It's a little late for the Assassin's Dagger. The Assassin's Dagger is on kill, it permanently gains +1 damage, but it does cost 2 energy to use. Robot Toy is nice, a little reference to Slay the Spire. For each connected Mana Stone, it increases damage, and it deals damage every turn for free. And Regenerative Whetstone. I think our best bet is to try and go for the Whetstone. Usually I try to place it around here, and that usually gets it, but not always. There's no surefire way, but... oh, so close. Alright. Instead, we get this uncommon Berserker Club, which is terrible because it damages you. Never take this. Basically, never take that. It's my advice to you. Okay, so... a long time ago, we were talking about spikes. This guy is the biggest perpetrator of spikes. So he'll attack, and then he'll block against spikes, and then he'll block. And spikes are nasty, because whenever I swing with my sword, I will take damage in return for swinging it. Let's see. Let's definitely Whetstone here. And this guy is cowardly, so if we kill this guy first, he will run away and not give us his XP. He will also give us a little hex, which is probably the easiest to deal with hazard. So we're not sweating that, but he will constantly heal them. So going after this guy first is important. Because if not, he will just be constantly healing his friend there. But we're fine. So he's going to give himself 3 spikes this turn. So now, when we hit him, we'll take damage in turn. But we can block the spike damage, thankfully. And let's block. Okay. Let's use the Dark Whetstone. Now we're dealing 3 weak every attack, so that's pretty huge. So we're basically only going to take damage from this guy. Yeah, because now he's dealing 0. Basically only going to take damage from his spikes. But he'll die before he gets through our block. Ooh, Pearl is incredible. Weapons 2 spaces away get +4 damage. There's another gem. So now our wooden blade is dealing, with the minute hand, 14 damage. Pretty good. Pretty good. Actually, we can put it up here, because it's still 2 spaces away. And let's... No, we're fine. Let's go talk to this guy and get our weapon that we paid $30 for. Wow, dog. You really let me down there. Got a Queen Cleaver, which on use, it is 2 energy, but on use, all diagonal cleavers are used. So if we had this cleaver here, if we clicked on this, it would also activate this. So actually, we'd be doing 16 damage for 2 energy. That's pretty bad. So yeah, we won't be taking this one. We will take the Queen Cleaver, mostly just to sell it. Let's get to this money before it disappears. Okay, so we got Gremlin. We fought before. Newt. She turned me into a newt. A newt. And this guy, Boastful Sellsword, which if we deal 5 damage to him, his action will turn from dealing 19 damage into gaining 3 to 4 block. So as long as we do one of these, he gets scared and decides to block instead. We are doing so much damage that... Let's just block. That's not really a concern of ours. Once again, he'll attack us for a lot of damage unless we deal at least 5 damage through his block. And we'll just do the rest of this guy, because I'm pretty sure he gives spikes to everyone, to all enemies, yes. So we gotta be careful with that. But we'll actually do one of those. And I'll end you? No, I won't end you quite yet. Next turn, we're doing the most damage, so... No, the turn after this one. But for now, I can just swing on you guys and call it a day. Okay, so now if we put this here, we can place this gem down here and make sure we don't put something here or here, and then we're good. As long as it's not 2 spaces away, we're feeling fine. So you put this here. If there's an M2 spaces away, 1, 2, right here. 1, 2, 1 here. So since there literally can't be anything there, we can do that. And now we can put a sapphire here. We can get these flowers. Flowers are very good, consumable. They add 1 energy and luck. If you can fit flowers in to your inventory, you definitely should. They're always worth it. Get this, and since we have a cool consumable, actually, before anything, let's see if we can't find a better weapon in here. We're still rocking the wooden blade, which is not something you want to be doing. Oh, here's another ghostly weapon, or a ghostly item. So for each diagonal empty space, +2 block. So this would synergize with our other item, because when something is ghostly, it counts as an empty space. So that would basically give a bunch of value to the shield. But we've got rid of it, and the ghostly things aren't particularly useful. So whatever. Oh, this guy's a classic robber raccoon. Wait, this is a raccoon? I never noticed. Steal 10 gold, and then they try to flee. So, let's try and defeat them before they flee. Easy enough. And since we had flowers, we got an extra energy, so we can actually almost kill that guy too. Our luck with weapons hasn't been what I wish it would be. But, I mean, we're still doing fine damage, mostly because of our energy gem. But let's see. Double halberd, all the way across the sky. Double halberd's pretty alright. Let's take up a ridiculous amount of space. There's an adjacent weapon, -3 damage. I think we can swing this. Because we also got citrine, which is adjacent weapons to the left. So wherever this is like pointing, it'll get a huge buff. And we can also, do we golden whetstone our double halberd? It is getting buffed severely, but I'm afraid we might find a better weapon that we would want to golden whetstone. So I think we're not gonna. We'll hold off on that. Let's hit up the forge. See what's going on. Maybe we had damage to a weapon. We don't. We do get energy to a clothing. Now this is why you want to have a chest piece. Chest pieces usually aren't very good, but if they have a forge slot down here, adding energy to that is very good. So actually, I think we will rock that. We have so much gold because we've been selling all the legendaries we come across, which is best practice. Always make sure you're picking up rare items and legendary items. Even if you don't want to use them, they always sell for a lot. It's like I could get 10 gold here just for something like Queen Cleaver I'm never going to use. And it's huge. It's absolutely massive. I do kind of want the cleansing rag. Wait, I have a cleansing rag. I was like, didn't we have a cleansing rag? We definitely did. So cleansing rag is nice because whenever you use the weapon, it removes a poison from yourself. Which poison is more of an issue later on in the game. There are some bosses and enemies that will stack up a lot of poison on you and can potentially end you, even though you have like a good block. Let's go on. Okay, this is exactly what we're looking for. So our double halberd does a lot of AoE damage, thankfully. So just by swinging... Okay, I should explain these guys before I absolutely obliterate them. This guy is angry. We've gone over this. He gains attack every time he's attacked. This guy is defender, so I can't click on this guy. It'll target this guy before I can target this guy. And this guy actually transforms. Whenever a honey guide, which are these guys, whenever one of these guys dies, this guy gets a buff. He gets a lot stronger and madder. There we go. He got stronger, so he's dealing more damage. His sprite also changed, but it's not going to be enough. We are too good. See, we can use our dice here just to... So when you're offered a dice in the reroll, even if you're not planning to take the dice, you can just use it from there. And you get a new suite of items. Tilted Sword is rare, so let's do that. We can actually hit up this shop before that elite fights us. Oh, another golden whetstone. Huh. So Tilted Sword deals 7 damage each turn plus 1 damage as combat, so it stacks every turn, which isn't bad. But... Oh, it's on sale. Definitely buying this. So it was on sale for only $17, which is nice. But now, do we... You know what, let's do it. Alternate use on the double halberd. Alternate use on the double halberd. So now it deals plus 50% bonus damage. You can see the multiplier there. Oh, I almost sold on accident again. Multiplier 150 of your base from the 2 golden whetstones. So we go from the base damage of 4 all the way up to 23. This is a wacky one. Seer is a single enemy, which is unfortunate since we're much better at taking on AoE enemies or groups of enemies. Ooh, I also forgot I had the shield spirit. But here we go. We got Ballista. Ballista is a legendary. It's a pretty tricky legendary to use because it destroys the item it points to, but deals damage based on how many spaces the item took up. So if we were to destroy our breastplate by firing it into the crossbow or the ballista, it would deal plus 60 damage, which is huge, but you know, it's also quite expensive to use. So let's hit up this other shop, see what they got, and sell this. I don't think I mentioned it, but you can only sell 3 items to each given merchant. So you could sell 3 items to this guy and 3 items to this guy. After that, they won't want to buy anything else. Jade Axe is very good because it costs money to use instead of energy, so theoretically you could just go crazy if you have enough money. This transforms. Let's see, can we see the transformation in the view card? Here we go. Yeah. Ambidextrous Glove. This little symbol means transform, so you can right click on it and transform it. And in combat, you can transform it, but it will cost you an energy to transform something in combat. Weapons to the right get +1 damage. Yeah, let's do that. We'll buy that, transform it, and now that gives another +1 damage, which is nice. Club is another great item. This item is really good early on. Only 1 energy, does 2 more damage than your starting wooden sword, and applies 3 weak to the enemy. The only downside is it's +1 to the energy cost for the rest of this turn. So the first time you use it in a turn, it's 1 energy. The next time you use it, it's 2 energy, so you can only swing twice in 1 turn potentially. But the 3 weak is nothing to sneeze at, especially when so many things have rage. But let's try to fight this enemy. Get some more XP and items potentially before we fight the other guy. College robes. Now this is what I was afraid of when I added energy to the bronze breastplate. Because this one has 2 forge slots, so we could have potentially put 2 energy on this. And it's rare. But since I already put energy on this, and it does give us a +1 to damage with our halberd, I'll hold on to it. I'll hold on to the bronze breastplate. 3 elites on this floor. That's kind of crazy. 3 damage to a weapon, but it must be touching the backpack's edge, which isn't a problem for our halberd. It does have 1 forge slot, so let's do that. So, doing 24 damage now, after a 3 damage, we are at 29. 29, very good damage. Let's use our shuriken to get some luck. Absolutely obliterating those guys. Oh, I was hoping we'd find the best item in the game. Lucky Ring. Best item in the game. Automatically, when combat ends, adds luck. Don't underestimate luck. It is... Oh, there's a locked chest. If we had a key, we could go into our backpack, drag the key over to the chest, and open it up. But yes. Let's block. Also forgot to reset the minute hand, unfortunately. But wow, we did a lot of damage there. Whoops. Let's do something like this, and then put another, no, let's put 2 here. Okay, oh, we got another minute hand, it's another buff for our sword. Now, Violent Energy. If there is an item along a diagonal line, this one's a little trickier to use, I'll be real. So we're not going to get much use of it now, but on future level ups, we should be able to get some value out of it. Here's our key so we can open the chest. So what you do is you go into your backpack, grab the key, drag it over the chest. Booyah. We get another minute hand. So let's do this. The cleansing rag here. Oh, actually, we could put the sapphire here, put you here, and then have another minute hand here for 35 damage. Shuriken Forge is rare, and it's pretty nice if you had the bomb stone that we saw earlier. +1 to energy cost this combat, but it's still very, very solid. Now, this is a dream come true. This fight is a dream come true. We'll Dark Whetstone once. I actually would have killed him if I didn't use my whetstone, but there we go. Ooh, so Alpha Star is interesting. It's as far as shurikens go, very good shuriken. The one downside is you can only sell it for 1 at a shop. So even though it's a legendary, you don't get one of the huge benefits of legendaries, and that is that you can sell it at a shop for a bunch of money. That's unfortunate. Oh, we're fine. We truly do not need it. We are incredibly powerful all of a sudden. Make sure we're opening all these chests. Mimic. Not a huge deal. Poison whetstone. Interesting. Don't really need the poison whetstone. It's actually... No, let's not reroll. Let's get rid of... let's get rid of the piggy bank. The piggy bank has been giving us a lot of money. That's probably why we have so much of it. But for now, we don't really need the money anymore. At least not the money from the piggy bank. But we are going to sell that for money. There we go. Rotate everything so we're ready for the boss fight. Oh, okay. It's the same boss fight again. Now I know that as long as I don't... There we go. Use my whetstone. I'll have enough energy to just waste them. Now, not all runs are going to turn out like this. They're not all going to come together suddenly. We do want the flowers. Can't really swing the flowers. No, we're good. Okay. All these fights have been trivialized, thankfully. Another cleansing rag. But I don't need 2 cleansing rags. So let's sell this. Don't need that. Give us some more money. Forge. Oh, I should have taken it. I could have just bought double energy to a clothing. Oh, that's my mistake. I could have taken that college robe and put 2 energy on it, and that would have been sick as heck. This event I never do. Lose 5 health and gain a potion. I just never bother with that. Even though hold on, it would be free since we do have the healing shrine right next to it. Get a potion. It's not a great potion, but at the very least, get my health back. Beautiful. Yeah, I usually never do that event. That might be the first time I've done that event in months, in literal months. Anyways, moving on. Oh, we're already at the end of Act 2. Look at that. So much quicker. Okay, so this is actually a great fight for us because this lady will summon an enemy. She'll actually summon a lot of enemies. I forgot to reset the minute hand. So actually, check this out. Since we have 5 energy now, reorganizing doesn't use up our whole turn. So it's actually pretty nice that we can do this. Well, actually, I'll do this so that next turn they'll be in position. And for now, I'll just attack you twice, give you some poison, because I'm never going to use that potion anyways. And you summon a bunch of people. Unfortunately for you, I was built for this. I was made to kill multiple people. Okay, Ore is massive. Probably one of the best relics in the game. There's Shield Demon. Shield Demon, once upon a time, there was a shield spirit used to be a crazy item, which said that whenever you use a shield, all adjacent weapons are used. Which, I don't need to tell you, is kind of crazy, especially when there are weapons that cost more than 1 energy. You'd be able to spend 1 energy on your shield and activate like 4 weapons. At least, most of the time. But they nerfed it, got rid of it, and now replaced it with this. So all shields get this effect applied on use. Adjacent weapons are used, but they are disabled for this turn. So you can only do it once, where before you could hit your shield 3 times and use 10 weapons 4 times or whatever. Or 3 times if you had 3 energy. But Ore is crazy here. For every 40 gold, you get 1 energy. Each turn, add 4 energy since we have so much gold. So that's actually insane. We found a fish sword. Can't really swing the fish sword. This gets bonus damage if you have adjacent or diagonal fish. Fish are little healing items that we've encountered a few times. Explosives, when destroyed, deal a bunch of damage. This is great if you have dynamite or some other form of item destruction, which is pretty rare to come by, honestly. Poison Star, we don't really have space for it, but it just simply adds poison. Unstable mana is the same as the 1 size mana, except you can also activate it for 0 energy in order to detonate it and destroy it and have it deal 10 damage to all enemies. So pretty good. Don't really have the space for something like that though. But let's see, gain maximum health. Yeah, let's gain maximum health. That is going to reduce our... We're still getting 4. Oh yeah, 160 is the cutoff. So at $40, we have 1 extra energy. At 80, we have 2, 123, and 164. So as long as we're over the 160 threshold. Okay, so here's where I change it up most of the times. Usually I'm 100% Bramble, Enchanted Forest, one or the other. For this situation, usually my rule of thumb is if you have a lot of single target damage, you go to the Magma Core. If you have a lot of AoE damage, you go to the Frozen Heart. And since we definitely have a lot of AoE, we're going to the Frozen Heart. Because there are multiple encounters in the Frozen Heart that have many, many enemies. Let's see if we can find one. Yeah, something like this, where there's 4 frozen mages. Yeah. Let's see. Dart is pretty good. We still haven't used the Curse Potion, but that's fine. In the shop, here's a fish. Adds regen, but is destroyed. You eat it. Another cleansing rag. Pickaxe is hilarious. So when you kill an enemy, it creates a gem. Gems are, things like the pearl and the sapphire and the citrine. We have a lot of gems here. But each turn, for each adjacent gem, it gets +1 damage to this combat. So if you surround this thing, because it takes up 4 slots, so it has a lot of surface area, it will gain just ungodly amounts of damage. And that's not counting the damage it gets from all the gems, because the gems usually just increase your damage by a lot. Like citrine here, which gives you +3, or this that gives you +4. So if you find a pickaxe early on, that's just your run, and it's usually a win because the pickaxe is very strong. All right, now these guys are silly. So they start off frozen, and when below 99% health, they become unfrozen and actually start doing stuff. But as long as they're frozen, I'm pretty sure they will just remain frozen. So the thing is, if you have single target damage, you can just focus one guy down at a time, I believe. But since we can just... There we go, they're unfrozen. Now they're awake and alert since they're below 99% health. But unfortunately, they've perished. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a line out here, because now we can put this violet energy back here, and all the diagonals, which would be here, are now not taken up. And we can put more items here if we wanted to. We can leave your friends behind, because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. Let's see, can we do something with this? Alright, Cleansing Rag isn't doing a whole lot for us. Curse Blade is potentially strong. For each adjacent curse, +2 damage. So if you have a lot of curses, surround this bad boy. It can be a potent weapon. Not the best weapon, but still potent. I do like another minute hand, but I don't think we can swing it. Warm drink. Well, I guess the minute hand is way better than the sapphire. Hold on, the minute hand has a forge slot. That's interesting, because I don't think there's any way of forging anything onto an accessory. Anyways, the other thing we took was Dowsing Rod. This, 0 energy, it's consumed. When you use it, it's destroyed, but also creates a Mana Stone, and it gives you luck at the end of the fight. So it's very nice. Oh, this is Cursed Gold. So it gives you more gold than a normal on-the-ground pickup, but it also gives you a curse, which is usually not worth it. No thank you. Let's head over to this event. Oh, this guy's great. Get a different item of the same rarity. So actually, what we can do is, since we're not using the Shuriken Forge, we can get another rare item. And, oh, it is one of my favorite items in the game. I gotta say. Lightning Bolt, great item. Love this thing. And actually, we can swing it. Look at that. So let's actually get rid of... I'll get rid of the Dowsing Rod. Yeah, so Lightning. Very fun item. On use, it deals 5 damage to all enemies, and each turn it is used. So it has 0 energy cost. Every turn, basically, it's going to be doing 5 damage, and if it's connected to a mana, it'll increase in damage. So it does scale. It does ramp up in damage. And I think because of that, I'm actually going to keep the Dowsing Rod, because I do want that damage. Let's get rid of bandages. We've been at full health for a while, probably thanks to bandages, but also because we haven't really been fighting enemies so much as enemies have been getting fought. Oh, wow. We got a black mana stone out of that. That's a legendary mana stone. This thing eats other mana stones to increase its own size, essentially. There's a lot of words there, but basically what I said is what it does. Also, we have 9 energy. Yeah, I think we are gonna win this run. Let's actually sell this black mana stone because that puts us closer to 200 gold, which is the threshold for our next. We'll actually sell that shield spear. Relics, the items you get from bosses, sell for the same as a legendary item. You can see that sells for 17. But now we are getting 5 energy. Yeah, ore is one of the most powerful relics currently. But keep in mind, things change. We just have so much energy. Oh no. Okay, get some luck. We're up all night to get lucky. See what Forge Man has. Blocked armor. We can give ourselves a little more block just in case. Well, I guess literally just a little bit because we don't have many armor pieces. Another locked chest. Let's double check to make sure I didn't skip over a key here. No, we're good. Okay, on to floor 8 in record time. Yeah, normally a run doesn't take this long, but I'm taking my sweet time. I'm taking my sweet time here. Get the free XP before it wears off. We do need a lot to reach our next level, but unfortunately, the drops on the ground don't scale with what floor you're on, so no matter what, even if you're on floor 2 or floor 8, these are always going to be 5 gold. The healing shrines are always going to be 5. This one's cursed, so it's probably going to give more than that, but the point is that they don't really scale, and later on it's not really worth it to go to them if it'll cost you anything. Ooh, steel boots are very good. Steel boots are rare boots. They give you a bunch of block, 11 block, just off the bat. And it also gives weapons in this column +1 damage, which gives our lightning 1 damage. The lightning truly not doing a lot for us, but apart from that, we are offered the Vorpal Blade, which was once the greatest weapon in the game, but now not so much. Mostly because of this last sentence that it has, which is +1 to energy cost for this turn. So while it does deal damage twice, which means that any bonus it gets to damage is applied twice, because it'll apply to this damage instance and this damage instance, which is very good, especially if you have a lot of things buffing it, like this. It'll deal 25 and 25, 50 damage for 1 energy, but on subsequent turns, yeah, it's not so great. But we do have a lot of energy. Do we run the Vorpal Blade? Now that I look at it, I think we might take the Vorpal Blade. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, we'll take it. It's been a while since I've done a Vorpal Blade run. It's a fun item. We'll take Curse Chest. Let's slow down. Oh, there's a Curse Shrine. It heals 7 HP and creates a curse. Okay. The problem now is that we are in the Frozen Caverns, which, as I've stated before, not great if you're doing single target damage. But when we get to the boss, we'll hopefully be able to shred them something fierce. Ooh, speaking of cool weapons, here is the Toll Blade. On use, deal 8 damage. Simple. We have it buffed, it goes up to 25. But if you transform it, it becomes the Toll Blade, which, same name. Basically, it does a bunch of damage, but at the end of your turn, or at the start of your turn, it will hurt you. And the damage that it deals to you also scales on the damage that it deals to enemies. So it'll be doing 21 damage to yourself. So, actually, I think we'll take the Toll Blade. The Toll Blade might actually be much better here, which is hilarious. So we'll transform it. But since we have so much energy, something that we can do is just constantly be transforming the Toll Blade. So, here we go. We're fighting these guys. Now we transform the Toll Blade. It costs 1 energy, which is fine, since we have so much of it. And then we are able to deal a massive amount of damage. several times in one turn. And then with our last energy, we can just untransform it so that we don't take the damage next turn. Yellow Rose is very good, mostly because it synergizes with other roses. So if you have a bunch of roses, this thing is great. Adds an additional spike for each rose, or each rose in this row or column. So this can get out of hand if you have a lot of roses. And it's also rare. But let's make sure we're resetting these, because that's very important. All right, yellow rose. Yeah, let's sell the yellow rose, because money is important to us. The more money we got, the more happy we are. Left gauntlets are very good. If you're offered these, definitely consider taking them. For each space to the right, +1 block. It gives a lot of block. Left gauntlet, steel boots. These are both items that give you a preposterous amount of block. Poison arrow. Okay, so poison arrow is one of the reasons why the hand crossbow is so good, because if you remember, the crossbow reduce the damage of arrows it points to for the cost of being able to fire a bunch of arrows. Now, noticeably, it only lowers the damage that they deal, not the poison they apply or the burn they apply. So if you have a bunch of poison arrows, these don't suffer the ill effects from the hand crossbow. So that's what makes it very good. Apart from this, I think I'll sell that. Let's see. What have you got for us? You got Cursed Whetstone, which adjacent weapons get 100% bonus damage this combat. Very good. Electric Arrow is also very good. For each connected Mana Stone, it deals +2 damage. Chip Sword, also nice early on. If you see that, make sure you scoop it up. Golden Cleaver is only really good with cleavers, but let's try and... Yeah, these have a bunch of rare items. Not so many legendary items. In fact, not any legendary items. Yeah, that's not legendary. Huh. Alright, so we're not taking the Golden Cleaver. It's only uncommon anyways, so it's not even going to sell for that much. Okay. Transform. Let's defeat you. Get you out of here. Alright, so we got plenty of damage. Let's make another space there so we can move that back again. And let's... Let's what? Let's get another space over here. Why not? Why not? I can do this so that Ambidextrous gives this one a damage as well to our Lightning Bolt. Metallic Wand is great if you have the build for it, which is for each connected Mana Stone, it gets +1 damage. So if you have a bunch of Mana Stones, you could pump out the damage with this thing. It's a very fun item. It's a little late for it though. Bluefish, or Bluefin, just gives us some healing in case we need it, so we'll take that. Whoops, accidentally took a bunch of damage because I forgot to untransform the Toll Blade. I guess that's the toll that it was talking about. Yeah, but we're good. Untransform. Oh, good thing we found Poultice. Poultice is also a great item. If you have less than half your health, it heals you for 20. A whopping 20. Alright, transform. Ba 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 ba. Thank God we have such a ridiculous amount of health. Ooh, Warrior Spellbook, another fun item. That's 1 mana to connect that's 1 mana to the connected mana network. So if this mana was empty, we'd be able to refill it. Adjacent and diagonal weapons get +2 damage to this combat. So it's pretty good. It does cost energy to use though, so it's not just infinite damage, unfortunately. Regen to a ring. Let's put regen on our lucky ring. Make sure we stay over 240, because that's the... Right? 240? Yeah. Okay, this guy will trade us food for a cleaver. We do have food. Poultice is food. But I want to hold on to Poultice in case we come close to dying. Because it would be embarrassing if I talk such a big game about being good at this game and then just embarrass myself. Charging Mana Stone, one of the best Mana Stones of all time. Possessed Pot as a curse. Heavy, which is opposite of light. So basically if I try to put it here. Oh, these boots are also heavy. But normally they would plummet to the ground. Much like our steel boots here. It lets you create a potion, but that's disabled for 1 turn, and when your turn ends, it creates noxious fumes, which is a hazard. Actually, we can look up fumes. Oh, can we not? Our hazards not... ABC area hazards. Here we go. Oh, I guess it's not in here. Weird. Okay. Anyways, longbow is a pretty good bow because bows fire the first arrow in each row. So if you had an arrow here and an arrow here, it would only fire this arrow. But because it's so big, it can fire up to 4 arrows, where normally bows only usually fire 3. That's why it's legendary. I think all 4 size bows are legendary for that fact. So many locked chests. Oh, but here's my memory game. So, oh, there's a bow. Oh, whoops. There's a weird bug with these where it'll highlight the items behind your backpack and so that card's in the actual game. But this is a curse. Living Rock. Can be moved in combat each turn. Moves forward. It does cost 1 to move. Moves forward and deals 3 damage to all enemies, but if it cannot move, it hurts you. And my method for this game is always just to go down the line. Ooh, Wizard Robes are great. Chef's Hat, that's an item for cleavers. It buffs cleavers damage by 50%. Oh my god. Robot Toy too. Oh my god. There's so many items. There we go. Let's get Robot Toy. So Robot Toy, obviously nice. It just deals damage each turn passively. Paired with our Lightning Bolt. They're basically the same thing except the one does more damage and one is technically a weapon, so it can be buffed, where the Robot Toy cannot since it is merely an accessory. So you'll see that most things say adjacent weapons to the right get damage. So if we point out the Lightning Bolt technically at the top left there, you see it is magic and weapon. It is treated as these 2 things, so since it is a weapon it can receive the buff, but since this is just an accessory, it does not receive the buff. But onto the final boss. Make sure my sword is untransformed. Make sure my hands are facing the right way. Okay. And let's get out of here. Onto the final boss. Now, each floor, the magma caverns and the frozen caverns, frozen area, the 2 places you can go for Act 3, have each of them, I believe, have 2 different final bosses. So technically there are 4. And this guy has a lot of health. He's going to be doing 22 damage, which is a lot, and dodge. What dodge does is when he has the dodge condition, the next attack will consume the dodge, but he will not take any damage from that attack. He will take status effects. So if you have something that burns or poisons, it'll apply just fine. Don't even worry about it. Let's open up by transforming. We have 13 energy. Let's do that and then transform back. This will hurt a bit, but you know what? Let's use our warrior spellbook. Every time we click this, our weapons are getting +2 damage, so there we go. You will summon a guy, but now he's at half health. So if we transform and just attack him relentlessly... Oh! Okay, I just learned something. So when I was buffing this Toll Blade, it was buffing the other form. So this form did not receive the buff. So this form is actually doing way more damage. Huh. Interesting. I never even considered that. Yeah, I don't use transforming weapons often, but there you go. there was the final boss, and now we get offered some more items, but this is all, these relics don't really matter unless you're going into endless mode, because technically this is the end of the game. As you will see later on, I do love the barbells because it has synergy with lightning, because each turn this item is used, and this is when you take damage, each turn effects are applied again, but it's disabled for one turn. So basically when you take damage, this will proc twice. Also, each breastplate has each turn effects and stuff like that. So I will take this because it's fun. But once we go here, we have claimed the cheese. The golden cheese. Your whiskers twitch. There it is. The golden cheese with delicious food. With delicious food, many new villagers will flock to Ordaria, which will be added in a future update. But for now, there you go. Hopefully you learned a little something. Hopefully you keyed into the thought process of what goes into a successful run. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace, peace. Have a good one.